Quest 2 accessories aren't always just for gaming. Sometimes we get some really obscure ones for fitness. If you remember those like Kiwi dumbbells we had a while back, well, we've got something kind of along that same vein today. Let's check this out. $24 is all this costs, which isn't a lot. These are controller grips weighted components. Basically what these are little tiny sandbags. We've seen these before on grips. They replace your wrist strap. I feel like with these being weighted, it worries me a little bit how like thin and insignificant this bit seems, but hey, let's check this out. Take out your original wrist strap. It doesn't say which is which, so I guess it doesn't matter. This just slides in just like your wrist strap did, except it flops around and is a lot looser, unlike your wrist strap, which has this big old piece of plastic here. I feel almost like this piece is actually from the Quest 1 or the Rift S because it had a much smaller hole in there. But let's see real quick if it's possible for this thing to come out. It's in there pretty well. I don't know how much I trust it, but hey, that's beside the point. It seems to be working for now. And now what you have is a kind of awkwardly weighted wrist strap that adds 5.3 ounces of weight to your controller. Now you can probably assume from here the idea is these are meant to simulate like weighted gloves that you might have seen people wear at the gym before or wear on walks and stuff. It's supposed to be doing the same thing, but in VR. The fit is really awkward, I gotta say. It says it's all neoprene and stuff, so it's supposed to be really comfy. It might be because my hands are so wide, but I'm really feeling this buckle and stuff here. At this point, I've gotta say, you can Google, are weighted gloves good, are weighted gloves bad, and you're gonna find results both ways. More often than not, things claim they're good, but obviously you should talk to a doctor before you were ever to consider anything like this. They need to help you decide, should something like this be a part of your fitness program? Is it good for you, your joints? That's between you and your doctor. That said, so far, even just in the first impression of putting these things on and feeling them, I kind of hate them. The controller's not heavy enough that it doesn't feel balanced at all. If I reach out, my hand just wants to go like this and drop the weight down on the outside. I've got it pretty tight, but it also doesn't feel stable. The way these sandbags are, you've got 2 channels of sand in here, and so that's the only parts I'm really feeling the grip on the inside. It's neoprene, which is the same stuff wetsuits are made out of, so it should be nice, but I only feel pressure where the sandbags are and then where this buckle is literally digging into my hand here. So I don't love that at all. So we can see right here, we got 335 grams or almost 12 ounces, which is funny because they say 5.3, maybe it's each sandbag in there because you can take one out. Yeah. So the Amazon page kind of makes it look like the whole thing weighs 5.3 ounces. That's each individual sandbag. There is 2 sandbags inside of each one. So you get a grand total of weight with your controller now attached and the wrist strap, 1 pound, 1.7 ounces or 501 grams. That's a lot of weight. I hate them. You might be someone who's used to using weighted gloves. These might not feel that bad to you, but the way they feel, I can just feel this constant pressure that's making my hands want to drop to the side, and it does not feel good. You think about Supernatural, something where you're boxing, they don't stay on my hand where I want them to, even if I tighten them down. They're also hard to tighten. I feel like you gotta take it off, kind of grab this buckle here and then pull. That's as tight as it can get right there, which it's now awkwardly turning my controller away from my hand. And I'm putting a lot of pressure on the ring here. And even then you feel it rubbing. Like if you were to wear these, you'd probably get some really tough skin over your knuckles here if you were to wear these consistently while gaming. Here's the thing, whether these are good or bad, whether you like the idea or not, you can get some actual weighted gloves on Amazon that weigh this much for this price or less, types that cover your hands or types that don't cover your hands, which would essentially be exactly the same as this. You just hold the controller and have all that weight on your hand, and you could get it cheaper. And if you are someone, you've talked to your doctor and they said, hey, weighted gloves might be good for you for different exercises, then you also have the weighted gloves to go use anywhere else you want to. If you're going on a walk with them, any other exercise, you have that option where these will only live on your controllers, and anytime someone wants to try a game or play something else, you gotta remove these, which granted, it's not a terrible process, but it's unnecessary. If you have those weighted gloves laying around, you can just put those weighted gloves on and get right to playing. So why would you buy this instead? Do you have an answer for me? I'd love to know in the comments because I just don't see the value at all. And at $24, they're not cheap, but they're also not expensive, but you can get other gloves for that price anyways. So from there, I honestly, I don't see any reason to buy these. I don't even want to go try them playing Beat Saber or anything, because again, I don't know if it's not a good idea for me, but it just seems totally unnecessary. So let me know in the comments what you think. I know this is definitely something that gets controversial opinions, whether weights like these are good or bad, or like the wrist weights, which I know a lot of people say are really bad, things like that there's a lot of different opinions out there. Hey, I'd love to hear from you, and I want to say thank you for coming out, checking these out with me today. I will not be hanging on to those, but I will see you in another reality.